The music industry didn't just shift this week, it was completely shaken. In a move few predicted at this scale, Bruno Mars surged past every major artist to claim the top position on the global charts. No surprise album drop. No viral controversy. Just pure dominance. And yet, the question everyone is asking remains the same: how did he do it? Bruno Mars has officially secured the #1 position on Pollstar's Artist Power Index this week, a ranking that evaluates not only ticket sales, but also streaming performance, radio airplay, and social engagement. It's a comprehensive snapshot of global influence, and right now, it points to one undeniable truth: Bruno Mars is the most powerful artist in the world this week. This achievement didn't come out of nowhere. It is the result of a carefully built momentum that has been growing quietly, then suddenly all at once. At the center of it all is his latest live venture, the Romantic Tour, which has rapidly become one of the most talked about tours of the year. Early reports indicate overwhelming demand, with multiple venues selling out within minutes and resale markets surging. Industry insiders say the scale of this response is rare, even in an era dominated by mega tours. Bruno understands something many artists overlook, said a Los Angeles-based concert promoter familiar with the tour's rollout. He doesn't just perform songs, he delivers an experience. And audiences are responding to that in a massive way. Beyond ticket sales, streaming numbers for Bruno Mars have also seen a noticeable spike. His catalog, filled with globally recognized hits, continues to perform at a level that most artists struggle to maintain even during peak release cycles. Songs released years ago are once again climbing playlists, driven by renewed attention from live performances and social media clips circulating online. Radio airplay has followed a similar trend. Stations across the United States have increased rotation of his music, tapping into the renewed demand from listeners. In an industry where trends often burn out quickly, Bruno Mars appears to be operating on a different timeline, one where longevity and consistency outweigh fleeting virality. But perhaps the most telling factor in his rise this week is social engagement. Across platforms, fans have been sharing concert footage, reactions, and commentary at an accelerated pace. Short-form clips from his performances have generated millions of views, creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond the venues themselves. A music critic from a major U.S. publication described the phenomenon as a perfect storm of nostalgia, performance excellence, and digital amplification. It's not just that people love his music, the critic explained. It's that they're rediscovering why they loved it in the first place, and sharing that experience in real time. What makes this moment particularly compelling is the absence of a traditional promotional cycle. There's no major album release driving the numbers. No headline-grabbing controversy fueling attention. Instead, Bruno Mars is relying on fundamentals, strong songwriting, elite-level performance, and a deep connection with his audience. That approach stands in contrast to many of today's chart-topping strategies, which often prioritize rapid content output and algorithm-driven visibility. In this case, the data suggests that authenticity and craftsmanship still carry significant weight. From a business perspective, the impact is equally significant. Live music revenue continues to be a major driver of the industry's growth, and Bruno Mars is currently at the forefront of that movement. His ability to sell out large venues consistently places him in a rare category of artists who can generate both cultural and financial influence at the highest level. Producers and fellow musicians have taken notice. One thing about Bruno: he never cuts corners, said a Grammy-winning producer who has previously worked with top-tier artists. Every detail, from the vocals to the choreography to the band, is intentional. That kind of discipline shows, and audiences feel it. The cultural impact extends beyond numbers. In a landscape often defined by rapid change, Bruno Mars represents a sense of continuity. His music bridges generations, blending classic influences with modern production in a way that feels both familiar and fresh. It's a balance that few artists manage to achieve, and it's a key reason why his appeal remains so broad. For fans, this week's milestone feels like validation. Many have long viewed Bruno Mars as one of the most complete performers of his generation, and this ranking reinforces that perception on a global scale. Social media reactions reflect a mix of excitement and vindication, with fans celebrating what they see as a well-deserved recognition. Still, the broader question lingers: what happens next? Maintaining the top position on a chart like Pollstar's Artist Power Index is no easy task. The competition is fierce, with multiple artists releasing new material and launching major tours in the coming weeks. The landscape can shift quickly, and sustaining momentum requires constant engagement. However, if this week is any indication, Bruno Mars is more than capable of meeting that challenge. His strategy appears to be rooted in long-term vision rather than short-term gains. By focusing on quality over quantity and building experiences that resonate deeply with audiences, he has created a foundation that is difficult to disrupt. It's a model that could influence how other artists approach their careers moving forward. A veteran music executive offered a broader perspective on the moment. "What we're seeing isn't just a successful week," the executive said. "It's a reminder of what a fully realized artist looks like in today's industry. Bruno is setting a standard, whether people admit it or not. That standard includes not only musical excellence but also an understanding of how different elements of the industry connect. Streaming, radio, live performance, and social media are often treated as separate arenas, but Bruno Mars is demonstrating how they can work together to amplify impact." As the week comes to a close, the numbers tell a clear story. Bruno Mars is not just competing, he is leading. And he's doing so in a way that feels both calculated and effortless. For now, the spotlight remains firmly on him. The charts, the headlines, and the conversations all point in the same direction. But perhaps the most significant takeaway is not the position itself, but the path that led there. In an industry that constantly evolves, moments like this serve as markers of what truly resonates. They highlight the artists who can adapt without losing their identity, who can grow without compromising their core. Bruno Mars has done exactly that. Looking ahead, the implications are substantial. If this momentum continues, it could redefine expectations for what it means to be a global superstar in the current era. It may also inspire a shift back toward performance-driven artistry, where the live experience becomes the centerpiece rather than an extension of recorded music. For Bruno Mars, this week is both a milestone and a stepping stone. It reflects years of dedication, refinement, and strategic decision-making. But it also opens the door to new possibilities, larger stages, broader audiences, and an even greater cultural footprint. The world charts have been taken over. The question now is not how he got there, but how far he can go. And if history is any indication, Bruno Mars is just getting started. As the momentum builds, industry watchers are already speculating about what Bruno Mars will do next. A potential new release, surprise collaborations, or expanded tour dates could push his influence even further. For now, the focus remains on consistency, something he has mastered over the years. What sets Bruno Mars apart isn't just a single moment of success, but the ability to sustain it. In a fast-moving industry where attention fades quickly, he continues to hold it. And that may be his greatest achievement yet, not just reaching the top, but staying there while the world keeps watching.